Greetings from the city of Geelong in the state of Victoria in Australia. Today is the 16th of April 2022. A wise man named Job in the good old book says, "Does the eagle mount up at thy command? Does he make up his nest at the instructions given by you?" When you think about that, I always think about what is possible, what is practical, what is affordable in our journey. When I think about things that are possible, things that are affordable, things that are practical, we need to always look for it. I'm thinking about currently the situation in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka is going through a significant challenging time. The bankruptcy of the economy and many things connected to that. The external debt default, nearly $6 billion of money, external debt have been defaulted by the country, and as a result, the bankrupt status and the youth has come to the street. There's significant economic difficulties and hardships. And in fact, this 6 billion is the exact amount of money Jeff Bezos spent to go to space for 3 minutes and come back. So it's not a very big amount of money we are talking about, but for Sri Lanka it is fairly big and challenging in the current context of time. The hardship that the people are going through, we have gone through. I just left about on 31st of March to spend 1 month with my daughter and grandson and son-in-law here with my wife. I can see that the history is repeating. I remember I was a young boy in the regime that took control of Sri Lanka from 1970 to 1977. 1970 to 75, they adopted the socialist kind of policies and closed up the country. And as a result of that, there are significant challenges for survival of the people because all the imports were restricted. The people have to grow their things and begin to eat from the country's agriculture produce. And it was not sufficient. And that resulted in significant queues and lack of food here and there. And I remember staying in queues for hours in the early mornings to get bread. Not only food, even the clothing was, because all the imports were restricted or banned. But the rulers did not rob the country. They are very respected. Even today I respect a leader like Mrs. Bandaranaike, Dr. Nempera Colvina de Silva, who was a creator, who did create this socialist regime at that time. But it created difficult conditions for the people. But she kicked them out in 1975. Dr. Colvina de Silva and Dr. Nempera was kicked out. And there was a strong man called Felix Das Bandaranaike took over responsibility, and he acted like a dictator and created further difficulties for the people of the country for the next 2 years, like what we are going through currently. His very dictatorial methods and the ways created further difficulties to the people. And lo and behold, 1977 comes. Another person by the name of Jaya Jayawardena rises up against them, and then the election, he routed them with a 4/5 of the majority in the parliament, created the most constitutional difficulties that now we are envisaging, created an executive presidency which is not affordable to Sri Lanka. That's what I say, what is affordable. And it's also not practical for an underdeveloped country like Sri Lanka. And as a result of that, we are engaging so much of challenging when you have the wrong person in the wrong place, naturally, wrong things that take place. That's what's happening in Sri Lanka. I wish that all of us will have enormous wisdom so that the repetition of that will take place at the next election, so that there will be democratically elected dictatorship will emerge. We should prevent that. And many people are articulating the change of the systems as well as the political structure. I totally agree. But the business people need to really recognize it is they who have been silent, and they need to recognize the contention of the youth and come and really rally around to rise up and bring a more practical, more affordable and more possible mechanism, structure for the prosperity of Sri Lanka as a nation.